Guys, it's Friday, which means we are sharing another home video with you guys. We are going to do this every single Friday, and we are showing you every single step of the way when it went from us finding out that our home went up in value, selling the house
$1 million,
selling the house, and now building a brand new one. So
from scratch.
So if you missed any of those, please check those out, because we give you so much value in terms of our thought process, what made us sell, what we were looking for, when it was that we were purchasing a new home. So a lot of really cool tips. So don't miss out on those previous videos. But for this one,
in the last couple of other videos too, you saw us like go to the design center and pick all that stuff out. This one is when it first started to like
jump in,
materialize.
Like it started feeling very real for me. I'm sure it felt really real for you, because when you go to the design center, it's literally just like little swatches of different materials, and it's like 100 of that one thing. So for example, you can see like 40 different doorknobs, and you're just like, wait, why do I need so many different doorknobs that come in different shapes and sizes and finishes? And you're just like, holy crap. So even at that point, yes, things feel real, but you're not seeing anything put together because, again, it's a swatch, it's super tiny. So
you still got to use your imagination, because like you know what your floor plan is based off of someone else's house, but it's not your finishes. And then so you're like, okay, so what does my house look like? And you look at the floor plan, and now you have to still use your imagination. Like, oh yeah, I remember, okay, we wanted like that paint, and then this is the kitchen cabinet that we're getting. So a lot of it is still like you try to fill in your own gaps. Yeah. But this time was the first time where you're like, this is our house getting built.
Yeah, absolutely. So going from that to now saying, and which again is kind of like all on paper, all theory, right? To now they're saying, hey, because they do give you updates, which is super rad. They're like, hey, so the framing is gonna start happening. And the framing is literally that, the frame of the house. So you do see the slab of concrete.
All the 2x4s and stuff.
Yeah, you do see the slab of concrete. And I already kind of knew what the steps were, because my dad, you know, had his own construction business. He built the house that my family currently still lives in. So I'm like very much aware of how things play out. But once I started seeing them put everything up, it was like, holy crap, like, this is real. There's no turning back. Like, even though before that you kind of again know that you're not turning back, this super solidified it for me, because now I'm seeing the men building this from literally the ground up.
So I like driving into this neighborhood, and this is the street, like one of the first streets that's being built, because you can see that the houses are in different phases. So you can almost see, like, when you're in first grade, what second grade gonna be like, what third grade's gonna be like, you know?
Yeah, that's super cute.
So you're like, okay, I'm here, I'm in kindergarten, we're in kindergarten, and I can see, oh, third graders get to do that. That's awesome.
Okay, that shot right there tripped me out, because I thought the machine was really gonna forklift that dude up.
Like it's gonna go through his crotch and pick him up?
Yeah, but this was super sick to see, because when I saw a house getting built, I saw, you know, my dad and his workers building it 2x4?
1 2x4 at a time.
At a time.
Yeah.
So this
or
is
studs. People call them studs.
Where is the dad joke?
I'm not that dog.
Okay, fine.
You know, you have the stud finder, like, hey, use the stud finder. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is.
That's the ultimate dad joke. But this, like, seeing it, literally, I think this is 2 days in one, right?
So what happened is, once they'll send out emails, right, and then they'll let us know of what just happened last week and what's gonna happen. Yeah. So when I found out that studs were going in the next week, I was showing up like literally every day. I was like, is it in now? Is it
really?
in now? Yeah,
I didn't know you did all that.
Yeah, like I want to catch it. I want to like document like this whole series.
How cutie.
Yeah, so I showed up the day before this.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, it's not today.
Because that's when I saw the guy about to get forklift, because it was nothing.
It's all just concrete. So the foundation was in, and they're like, it's gonna happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
So when I showed up tomorrow, I believe this was probably like after I picked up Tyka, dropped them back off, because it was in the afternoon. Yeah. When I went, I was expecting like a couple of sticks. Yeah. To see like almost like 70% get done. I was like, what in the world? They move fast. So by the end of the day, they said all the frames are gonna be up.
That is so rad. So like I remember walking in and then going like, oh man, this is so cool. I had never walked into a home in that phase before, because yes, my dad did build the home that we live in, but I was like 7, 8, like I was a little kid, so I don't really get to appreciate the building process and just the different phases that things are in. So when I was walking through this, I was really trying to envision like what our life would look like.
Oh,
you know, like I'm like, okay, this is the front door. How cool! This is where Taika's room's gonna be. And then I'm like, wait, is this where like our living room's gonna be? And it's just such a cozy, really warm feeling at this point, because I'm like, whoa, like we've been through quite a process. We've moved so many times. That like the idea now of going like, wait a minute, like we're slowing down, like let's pull things back a bit, let's not go crazy, and like let's just enjoy, you know, this cozy new home that we have, was really, really cool to just kind of like think about that. Because now we have like a bigger backyard, so like everything that I'm considering when I'm walking through this house is really centered around the idea of just family and togetherness. Because the home prior to this, it was beautiful and it's stunning, and I'm so grateful that we were able to be given the opportunity to live in something so grand. But ultimately it didn't feel like it was me. I don't know how you felt, but it just didn't feel like I could really feel cozy and warm in such a beautiful, grand place.
I think like the best way to put it is that house is so freaking sick, but it's not us. So it almost felt like we were trying to adjust ourselves to match the house.
Yeah, it was too fancy.
So we're like, okay, do we need to get like some crazy neon sign, or do we need to get like crazy masonry to like match? And then with this house, it's actually the complete opposite. Whereas like, you know what, like I think we know the type of like CUNY life that we want.
Yeah.
And this house matched our life. So it didn't feel like I was trying to like put my feet into some crazy like Gucci loafers and then like become the Gucci loafer man. It was more like, oh, these are Crocs, you know, or and then the Cinderella slipper fit real perfect.
Yeah, it did, because like we get to see the backyard from like as soon as you walk into the front door, the first thing that catches your eye is the sliding doors. Well, that'll eventually be there, and then you get to see the backyard. In the backyard, I can already see us, you know, hosting barbecues, having Tyke and his friends come over. Having a bunch of play area in the back, us just fucking around a lot. Like that was one of the things that we were so grateful for when we, you know, went on lockdown, when this whole COVID thing happened, was that our backyard was completed, that we just lived out there. Like it was like we should have had a bigger backyard and a smaller house, because we were just outdoors so much. So when we moved to the house that we sold, that idea, I didn't even realize this, but that concept just died a bit, because the backyard was so small in consideration to how big
the house was.
That like, and the inside of the house was so big that like we weren't even compelled to really go outdoors anymore, and that kind of like made me really sad. So
because half the reason why we even moved to Vegas is the nature element.
Yes.
There's actually a ton of nature, lots of hikes, wilderness, wetlands.
You see the mountains right behind our house.
Yeah, so like we're like, man, the way the house is, it's like it didn't really encourage us to go out. And so with this, even like, you know, just seeing like kind of like the 360 scenery around it, one of my favorite shots is you'll see like mountains from one side to the other, and then you're reminded that you're still in Vegas, which is cool.
Right in front of us.
And you see the whole skyline, you're like, damn, that's sick.
Yeah, so going room by room and imagining what life would be playing out like in that space was super heartwarming for me, because I could see that I could be like baking or cooking, that I've totally started getting into now, by the way. And then just having a conversation with Bard and Taika and whomever we might have over. It might be Annie and Christina, because they live so close to us now. We're just so, like, we're in closer quarters, I should say now. So I was daydreaming a lot as this framing, like as we were walking through all the framing getting finished.
Yeah. So thank you guys for sharing and watching the whole framing process with us. And after this, they're gonna start drilling holes and putting like the electrical and the pipes and stuff. After that, in the next video, you'll see the drywall go up. And I think that's when, like, I think for us, we know what the house is supposed to look like. So this is kind of like a really cool sentimental, emotional moment for us. In the next video, I think it'll be that for you guys. You'll be like, oh, I finally see what they're saying.
Yeah, because right now it just looks like a bunch of sticks. So I get it. You're like, huh? What's going on? But yeah, it gets really, really cool.
Yeah, thank you guys for following us on this series. See you guys next Friday with this series.